Live! Yay! Hello, everybody. Welcome to another interview with one of my clients. I'm super excited to be talking to Lisa today. If you're brand new in this community, my name is Brittany Budd. I'm a mindset and business coach, and I help online entrepreneurs to build and scale their businesses to six figures and beyond using organic social media marketing strategies. Yay, Lisa! This is so much fun. Lisa is one of my masterminders, but Lisa and I used to dance hip hop together.
Yes, that's been a few years, maybe four or five.
No, we're just babies. It was like yesterday, right?
Yes.
No, the last time I danced, my daughter, who's 3.5, I was pregnant. And
That's right.
that was like we had our big performance, and then that was the last time I danced. Yeah.
Wow.
So that was like 4 years ago.
But we're just going to call it yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Yes.
So Lisa, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody and let them know what you're all about?
Hi, I'm Lisa McDonald, and I am a guided meditation facilitator. So what that is I help professionals slow down, de-stress, and take time out of their busy day and connect with the present moment. And that helps them feel a little bit more fulfilled, and it makes them kind of let go of everything that happened at work and happened all day, so that in the evening you can give time back to your family and you don't have all that pent up energy. Or if you're really thinking about something and it's bothering you, you have time to listen to your inner self and find out what you need to do to fix that.
How did you get into this?
I got into it because I used meditation as a healing modality for myself. And there were a few ladies that I was going to in the city, and then they moved. So there wasn't a lot of options out there for guided meditation. And I thought that it's brought so much change to my life. And as easy as you can plug something in and listen to it on your own, it's also the group setting that was important too, because just like we do with group coaching, other people are sharing their experiences, and maybe something you didn't think of came up for someone else, and then there's a bigger discussion around it. So I thought, if I healed this way, maybe I could help heal other people, and I could also help them connect with different people, because I've made friendships through different groups where I've done meditation, and they've been lasting friendships because you have that connection where you did something together and built a friendship on it, rather than you just work together and you go out after work. It's more personal.
Tell me more about why meditation is so important and why it's getting so popular right now.
Well, it's important because we need to slow down our days. And there's so much distraction in our lives. Like, you don't realize how much stuff is distracting. Like, you're working at work, but then an email pops up and you automatically think, like, it's a sense of urgency that you need to answer it. And then if your cell phone goes off, you feel like you need to answer it. So you always feel like you're needing to respond to something, and you never really slow down and think within. Like, there's always something on your mind. And even if you're watching TV, like, how many people watch TV and watch a phone screen at the same time? So you're never really focused. And if you're not focused, you can't really listen to what's going on. So it comes back to the basics, where you're getting rid of all the distractions. You're going inside, listening to your own thoughts, slowing things down, and just inner peace.
I love this. I think this is so interesting. So I don't know a ton about meditation. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Once upon a time, it's been a couple of years, but part of the program that I had created like 2 years ago, I recorded a guided meditation that walked people like into the future, which was so fun. But there are other types of meditation, obviously. So what types of meditation do you do with your clients?
Well, I have 3 different types. There's insight, and there's journeys, and then there's contemplation. So insight is maybe you have a big decision to make, and should you sell your house or do you want to stay in your house? So it takes you inside so that you can really think about that and get in touch with how you're actually feeling, because sometimes other people might say you should sell your house, the market's good, but maybe it's not right for you to do that. And then there's journeys, which take you on a journey to find a hidden message or to see a loved one. And they are great for, like, if you're grieving, or there's just that one thing that maybe you forgot someone said to you. So you go on a journey, and then you might walk down a path to a beach, and that person is there. And it's amazing because it's all from within. You don't know who's going to be there, who you think up, and what the message is. And then when you come back, you remember it. And if you journal it, it's something that you get to keep forever. And then cinematic is, it's more of like if you're stressed and you just can't get through your day, and you're living in the midst of a storm and you don't know if you're coming or going, it kind of tones you down. Like, you can think about, okay, I'm worrying or I'm overwhelmed on this thing. So it's key words that are repeated a couple times to just kind of calm you down and help you realize that, well, I don't need to be overwhelmed about something. There is an answer. I just need to give it extra thought.
Wow. So when you do this with your clients, is it pre-recorded, or do you do it on the fly with them? How does it work when they work with you?
I've been doing it on the fly, and I've also been doing some Facebook Live meditations. And I also do recordings. I'm getting more comfortable with technology, so that will be available in the future. I think the normal thing is about 5 meditations on one MP3, and then you can pick and choose which one you want to look or want to listen to at the time. Yes, it's just a lot to get the de-essing out and the background noise. So I'm working through that, and by the end of May, I plan on having that all fixed up and running.
I love this. Now, for a lot of people, me included, when I would think about things like meditation, I would go, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to sit around and breathe for an hour with my eyes closed. I have kids screaming at me every 5 minutes that they want a snack. Like, I can't even go to the bathroom by myself. What would you say to someone who's like me, thinking, I don't have time for this. I wish I did, but I don't. How much time does it really take? And why is it so important that we carve out the time?
The time is dependent on what you're looking for. I have clients that will do 5 to 10 minutes, and I have some that want a full 45 minutes. And there's a quote, I can't remember who said it, but they said, if you don't have time to meditate, then you should meditate for an hour.
I've heard similar quotes.
Yes, and it's just taking the time out for yourself to make you feel better, and that makes you more productive in all areas. And yeah, it definitely is a life changer. So I do recommend that you do take the time out, and it doesn't have to be 45, 50 minutes, an hour. Sometimes that's too long. Maybe you only need 5 or 10 minutes, and it's just getting in connection with the breath. Like, rather than going on a full journey to get a message, maybe just taking a few deep breaths in and out and recentering, grounding. And I do have meditations that start right from breath work. And then there's 5 sessions, and it goes through different breath work, and then learning your own rhythm. So rather than trying to get into a rhythm that someone's telling you to get into, you can find your own and just work with it.
Okay. So my next question for you is about, like you said the words breath work, grounding, and in tune. For those of us that have no idea what you're talking about, what do those words mean? Like, talk to us like we're complete idiots.
Well, breath work is breathing, but most of us shallow breathe. And we don't actually take a full breath. So it's just like feeling, I know my camera's kind of low, but it's feeling your ribs. And when you breathe in, actually feeling the rib cage expand. And then when you breathe out, feeling it contract to make sure you're getting that full breath. Like that's really important because when we're shallow breathing, you're not getting all the oxygen you need. And most of the time you shallow breathe when you're in fear. So if you have a big decision and you're scared of that decision and it's really bothering you, then you shallow breathe for most of your day and don't even realize it. And grounding is just being in connection with the universe, like making sure your feet are on the ground and you're not thinking like I have 30 things and I don't know which way I'm being pulled in. It's just, you know, taking a minute to say, okay, I'm here in this moment and listing out what's most important for now and noticing what's around you. Like, okay, I'm at home. And while I'm at home, I need to do this, this, and this. And I'm not going to think about what I need to do at work. When I get to work, okay, I'm at work and I'm going to do these 3 things today. And the other one was intuition.
I think you said in tune.
In tune. It's really important just to be in tune with yourself. If you're not paying attention to yourself, sometimes you let the little things go. Like you might have a little pain creeping up on you, maybe in the back shoulder from clicking your mouse all day. And if you're not in tune with your body, you'll ignore it until it gets to a point where you have to go massage therapy or something like that to get it treated. Where if you're checking in with yourself every day, like when you're sitting down at your desk and you're in the present moment saying, okay, I'm about to start my work day, and you check in and make sure your shoulders are relaxed and your jaw's relaxed, you would feel if something was tight and if you should get it fixed now rather than wait.
Yeah. I love that you talked about shallow breathing because I am friends with a girl who's an energy healer and she calls me out all the time. Like, you don't breathe. I'm really breathing all the time. And I'm like, this is just how I breathe. What do you mean?
I used to shallow breathe until I took the courses. I didn't even know it was a thing.
Just second nature.
Yeah, and workouts would be so hard because I'd become breathless within the first 5 minutes and be like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah, so good. Okay, so why is this work so important to you?
This is so important to me because I think it's important that others know there's more out there than just medicine to calm your mind. And sometimes the answer lies within you. Most of the time the answer does lie within you. So many of our decisions are made by external influences that we don't even realize. So it's important to me that I bring that knowledge to other people. And it's helped me so much. Like I'd say 4 to 5 years ago, I was a completely different person. And even last year, I look at how much I've changed. And it just from listening to myself and slowing down a little bit. And I want to bring that to other people and let them know that your life doesn't have to be get up at 4:30 in the morning because you can't fit everything in and rush, that there is more to it. And you can just take the time for you and find out what's important because maybe what you're doing at 4:30 isn't important.
That's so, like, I love that you said that, especially for who work with professional people. That whole, like, you need to get up at 4:30 in the morning and have to grind until midnight, otherwise you're a failure. Like, that narrative is so loud.
It is.
But so false. So I love that you touched on that because it is. It's you're right. There are other ways to do this.
Yes.
So let's talk about our time together. Before you applied for the mastermind, which FYI, if you guys are catching this live, doors close tomorrow. What were you thinking and feeling about your business that was making you think, oh man, I got to get in on the February class?
So I just started my business in January. And the point I was at was I finished my meditation certification and I really didn't know where to go. So I was working with another coach, and I've been working with a coach on like leadership skills and work-life balance. And I wanted a side hustle. So we turned the dream into reality. But then I didn't understand the stuff like post content and how to get over the social media fear. And all those questions that I was kind of thinking, okay, I want to do this business and I've come this far, I've taken the courses, now what? When I read your email for the audience incubator, you answered my questions in the email. And I was like, I need this. This is something that will set me up for the future, where I'm just starting out rather than jump into it not knowing what I'm doing and failing. I could get my answers from this 6 months coaching. And within the first week, it definitely answered my questions and got my group up and running. And I felt really good about where my business was rather than feeling very intimidated. Because, you hear post content, but I didn't know what content was.
Yeah.
So when I looked at other people's stuff, I was like, oh, how do they come up with that? And it just set me right at ease.
Yes.
Yes.
I love that you just said that, because there are so many words in the online space that for newbies, it is very confusing. What is content? How do I come up with content? How do I make it valuable? What does it mean to give value? What is copy? There's so much jargon. And once you're in it, you don't realize that people that are brand new starting out have no clue what we're all talking about. So I so appreciate that you touched on that, because yes, that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted people who were kind of like, how do I do this? What are these words mean? I just want to make money online. When you were thinking about applying, what hesitancies were coming up for you?
Once I seen the email, I was pretty much a hell yes. The hesitancy was I was currently working with another coach. So I was kind of like, is that being mean? Like hiring a second coach? But then after looking at it, lots of people do it and both are great. They just have different outlooks on things.
Yeah.
So that was a hesitancy, and the time I needed to put into it. I think we had a call because I was not sure what I was signing up for right away. And I needed the call also to make sure that you were real. Like it wasn't just an email saying, yeah, I'm going to do this, that there was an actual person on the other end. And even though I knew you and had, a relationship or bond through dance, I was like, I still need to know that she's going to show up and that this is for real. So yeah, those were the hesitancies. And after our call, I think I told you right away, I'm like, I'm a yes, but I just needed to make sure that this was a thing.
And you know what's so funny? You're not the first one to do that. Like I had a call earlier this week and the girl was like, I don't have any questions. I just wanted to make sure you're you. I was like, I am me. I'm right here. Hello. And she's like, okay, just like I'll pay in full. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. It's just that like the sense of companionship, that there is someone on the other side, and it's not like you're just paying and hoping that someone's going to show up. That we had the call and it was legit.
Yeah. And something else to note too that happens in the online world, especially in the coaching space, is sometimes you buy into something with someone and then it's someone else. And that
Yes.
happened to a set of my clients before too. They booked a sales call to work with so-and-so, but then they ended up getting on a call with like a closer. But then they booked a call with me and I was there and they were like, it's really you. It's really me. Hello. I love that. And anyone that's watching this or listening to the podcast or catching this on the replay, you can absolutely book a call with me just to make sure I'm real. And I will talk to you. We can talk about whatever you want. What objections came up for you when it came to investing in yourself and in your business at this level?
My biggest fear was that I wouldn't get a return, that I would just pay the money and be like, oh, that was fun for a week and not continue on. And that was my biggest fear. Like I had the funds to do it. I had already invested in getting the meditation certificate. So when I was thinking about it, I was like, well, I went as far as getting the certificate. I went as far as, having another coach me into getting to where I am today and getting more visible and comfortable within my own skin and starting up the business. So why not bring this other aspect that's going to teach me everything I need to know about the content and about the online community and about how to make those 5K months. And if something happened that it didn't work out or follow through, well, I'd already invested the same amount getting the education and all the other stuff. So as a whole, it would either be take off and go and be my business or a fail as a whole. And so far it's been definitely working out for the better.
I was going to say, it was fun the first week, but we're still having fun.
Yes, we are. Yes, I look forward to our Wednesday night calls. Sometimes it's challenging. My daughter's in synchro, so as we're on the call, I'm trying to help her. Like she's coming home and she's starving, so I'm trying to do the meal and everything, but it's still nice to connect with everybody and they hold you accountable as well.
Yeah.
And you never know what people's questions are going to be. So it's always exciting because we all follow each other's groups and you see little things happening. And then when you all go into the room together and we talk about it, it's even that much more exciting because you've seen them in progress all week. And then we bring forward what everyone wants to chat about.
Ooh, like I have chills at you saying this right now because it's so unique the way that this has been set up in that it's such a small group. There's only a dozen of you or a baker's dozen of you. And yeah, all of you guys are hanging out together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very unique that you guys are kind of watching each other. And then when we come to the calls, you're getting all the behind the scenes of what each other is working on. And then seeing them, like seeing the other women implement, that has so much power in it that I'm obsessed with that whole aspect of just like knowing what's going on behind the scenes in someone else's business for your own business. Ooh, yes. Yeah. So good. Ooh.
I think the first group I joined was Valerie. And in the beginning, I was scared to post because of like imposter syndrome and childhood trauma and thinking people were going to yell at me if I posted the wrong thing. And then I was like, well, if she's doing it and she's in my group, then I got a little bit of support. So it makes you feel comfortable because you're like, well, they're in the same course and they're doing it. So it's okay, rather than, oh, I told myself I would do this today and I have to do it. It makes you feel like you're not alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, so good. I love that. And right before we got on this call and like popped it into Facebook, we were talking about like it's Thursday. We had a call as in the group yesterday, and we were talking about how amazing that call was. So yeah, like it's intense. Even if you are, making dinner or trying to take your kid to a sport, like Val was in her car yesterday.
Yeah.
And like, it's just so interesting to kind of sit back, and even if you're not being coached, there's so much value to get from listening to the other women being coached. And the great thing is that it's recorded, so you guys can all watch it later if you miss it. And I know a lot of the girls are rewatching just to see what their own coaching was. And you can apply it to your life as you're growing your business and things are shifting and changing and evolving for you. So I love that you just touched on that. Let's talk about after we had our call, and I loved having that call with you because you were just like, I don't really know why we're here. Like, I'm a yes.
Yeah.
It was like one of the shortest calls I've ever had in my life. After we hung up and I sent you all of the paperwork and everything that you needed, what were your thoughts and feelings about that investment and where your business is going?
I was so excited. I couldn't wait for it to start. Like, I just had the countdown thinking, okay, February, I think it was the first week of February. Can't remember the 15th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just counting down to the day, and I was feeling so excited because I just got my certificate, and it was the gap in between, I have the certificate, but now what?
Right.
So it was just like the now what answers were going to be in the course, and I just couldn't wait to get in there and to meet the other ladies in there. And I was surprised to see that there were, like, you're local, and I think Stacy's local, so it was nice. Yeah, it was nice to see other people, and I think some of the other girls connected locally too.
Yes.
After we got in.
Yes, a couple other girls were local to each other, and they went to lunch, which was so fun.
Yeah, so it was exciting because you want to meet who you're going to be in the class with, and there's so many different perspectives from things in different time zones, and it's more than just going to your local shop down the road and seeing everyone local. Like, you have this new circle. So I was really excited about that, especially where, like, the last few months have sucked with COVID, but it's also brought on this whole new, like, atmosphere where you can be friends with people virtually. So yeah, it was just the overall excitement for my next step and to meet who I was going to be working with for the next 6 months.
So fun. And I love everything you're saying, but I love that you just touched on that. Like, not only are some of them local, but everyone's got such a different background.
Yes.
Which I find so cool about this group. Like, a lot of people think, well, oh, this is just for coaches. No, we've got VAs, we've got meditation coaches like you, we've got like visibility coaches, style coaches, we've got girls in network marketing. Like, it's just so diverse. I love it. So fun. And in the next group in May, it's the same. Like, I've got real estate agents, coaches, VAs, like all different walks of life. So it's very, very cool. What surprised you most about my process?
What surprised me most was the first week when you gave it all to us. Like, I really thought that it was going to be, oh, well, we'll talk about this today, or touch on that, and then next week we'll touch on a little bit more. So I thought it was going to be 6 months of an ongoing process, I guess.
Yeah.
But in that first week, and I'm not sure if you're going to be doing the same thing or not. Okay. In that first week, it was just a coaching call every night. And it was just, night one was how to set up your why statement. And then the content, and then it just built right from there. So you had all the tools. So it was like, okay, by Friday, you have the tools, you have your group, time to work it. And
Yeah.
then when you come to the coaching calls, it is the full hour of question and answer rather than I've been to courses before where it's a half an hour of teaching and then half an hour of coaching on the back end. And it's like, you didn't really get to process the information, so you don't know if you have a question.
Yeah.
Where with this model, we have it all right up front and you're putting it in action. So when we're coming to the Wednesday nights, we have questions on stuff that's already been taught. So you can kind of flip back through your notes if you need a refresher, and you can ask the question in the group call and not be overloaded by extra information.
Yeah. Ooh, that's so good. That first week was so much fun doing those trainings. And then even though I wasn't going to, I still ended up doing Q&A at the end of every training every day that week to make sure everyone fully understood and everyone was on the same page. And honestly, by Wednesday, I thought to myself, it's only been 3 days. Everyone has already gotten their money back in value.
Yes.
Kind of like tooting my own horn to say that, but I really wanted to over deliver that first week. So yes, for 6 months, everyone was just implementing and getting feedback on it so that they can start making money faster. Whereas dripping, how are you supposed to hit 5K months if I'm dripping on you for 6 months and you don't even have all the tools until the end? No, let's do it now.
I'm very much a now person, so I liked that because there was no waiting, there was no suspense. It was just, here it is.
Yes.
It's up to you.
Up to you. Oh, I love it. Oh, so fun. Why are you glad to be a part of the February class of the Mastermind?
I'm glad to be a part because I feel like everyone connected so well. And I also felt like, you know, February is kind of a down month and it's kind of cold and gross out. So it kind of lifted my spirits as something to look forward to. And I think the next one will be the same way because with summer and we're all kind of can't really go too far, it's the same thing. Everyone will have something to look forward to through the week and it really picks your week up and just energizes you. So instead of being energized on a Monday or a Friday, you get that in the middle of the week, all that energy.
Why has it already paid off for you?
It's already paid off for me because I'm not scared to post anymore. When I first started posting, I was very insecure. I would think about my post. I think the first time I posted, I thought about it for about 3 days. Wow. And then the morning, I was just sick. Like I felt nauseous. I couldn't get out of bed. I was like, I can't do this. But it was because I was trying to come up with what is content because I didn't really know. And I was scared to ask that question to my other coach just because I felt like I would look stupid if I asked a coach what's content. So just given what it was and then posting it, and from posting I started off with a group of 10 people who were only friends, like, well, not only friends, but as my friend circle who were there to support me. And I've grown to 44 people now just from the consistent posting. And the business model you teach on how you'll have a few people and then you'll be posting and no one's really saying anything, but they're seeing it because you can see that they've seen it on the bottom. And now we're going into our 3rd month and people are starting to like.
There we go.
And they're starting to comment and there's a little bit of engagement. So I know that it is going to pay off because even though it's slower, and I think you've used the expression before, we're all like popcorn and we're all going to pop at different times. There's some girls that have seen a return rate off the bat and mine's slowly popping, but I definitely know that in the long run, this is what I needed to get all that juicy information and start really performing in the business and not being scared.
Oh, this is so good. when you talk about like getting the likes and then getting the comments and getting the engagement, I've made a post in my group and I've talked to you guys in the mastermind about it. But for those of you that are watching this or listening to this later, there is kind of a concept that I borrowed from Stacey Bayman, and she is a business coach, and she talks about the phases of business. And those are the phases of business where you're kind of like, okay, I'm putting stuff out there and no one gives a shit. Everyone's ignoring me. It's just crickets. And then, you know, eventually you start getting likes, and then you start getting comments, and then you start getting DMs, and then you start booking calls and they're no's. And then you start booking calls and they're yeses, but they ghost you. And then you start booking calls and they're yeses and they actually pay you. And it's awesome. And then you get to the point where people are booking calls and they're already yes before they even talk to you. And they're just on the phone to be like, yes, hello, here's my credit card number. And so you're going through those phases. I mean, that's super paraphrased. That's not like an exact layout of the phases of business, but that's like your prime example. Yep. I started out, I had nothing. Now I'm getting likes. Now I'm getting comments. I'm going to start booking more calls. Like it's growing for you. You're following the path that it's supposed to follow. Ooh. Okay. What challenges have you overcome since joining? So we know that posting content is a big one.
Yes.
Are there any others?
There are.
Okay.
Going live.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like going live with you. There's someone else there. I feel comfortable. It doesn't bother me. But going live on my own page was very intimidating. And then I seen the other girls doing it, and I was like, well, they're living through it. So I've been doing some live posts. I've overcome imposter syndrome. That was a big one. I would always feel like, oh, well, you know, they can do that, but I'm not good enough for whatever reason. And yeah, so that's definitely a big one. And finding my worth. We were talking about that a little bit last night, and that is really important. And before I started this, I knew I had worth, but I didn't know what I was worth in my business, and that what I'm learning, I definitely can share with other people and help them along their path, where before I felt like, oh, I need that other certification. I need this one over here. Maybe I need that course. Maybe I need a course in sales, when really you don't. Like, you're worth everything with just your knowledge. And I've gotten the confidence to just get out there and do it. It's not that scary. Yeah. And really it's quick to take a few minutes to post when you know what the right content. And if you know you're going live, something I learned is, rather than just say I'm going live right now and pop on, if you want viewers and you book the time you're going live, people are more apt to come. On Monday I went live and I booked it, and I had 4 people show up. People DM'd me about the replay, and I'm going live this Monday night, and I have 12 people interested, and I think 5 or 6 have already said that they are coming, like a yes.
That's awesome.
So overcome a lot in the last few months.
Yes. Oh, I'm so proud of you. So good. How have your results so far impacted you and your life?
So far, they're still impacting my life. In January, I actually second-guessed myself about whether I wanted to do this. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, content posting, going live, adding value. I made a big, big step that I am not ready for. And now that I've been doing it, I feel more confident. And it's not just confident in the business, but just confidence overall. Like, I'm posting on my regular page, I've now seen that no one's going to yell at me or belittle me because I post a picture of, you know, my daughter doing synchro, where before I wouldn't have even posted that on my own page because I felt like it's okay for other people to do it and I like looking at their pictures, but no one wants to look at mine.
Mm.
And now I've learned that not everybody sees everything you post, and people genuinely are interested in you. And as a business person, they want to see what you're doing and what kind of goes on behind the scenes. Like, that's really important, because I know when I'm going to do business with someone, it's usually someone that I've had a previous contact with, or I've watched them for about 5 or 6 months to think, yeah, that's for me, and they're still showing up. So, you know, just impacting my life is in getting out there and being more me. Like, before I was just following a cookie cutter, but now I feel like I have the tools to just flourish and allow my actual personality to come out.
So amazing. I love it. What would you say to someone who's currently thinking about applying for the next class?
I would say to go for it. Yes, it is definitely something that can be a life changer depending on what you do with the information you're giving. Like, all the information tools are there, but it is up to you to put it in action. So if you're ready to put your business in action, then I would recommend that they sign up and not wait till the third one to get on it and start implementing it today, because the quicker you do it, the quicker you can make the changes in your life, rather than thinking, oh, well, I could have did that a year ago, but now, you know, I've waited a year. It's just better than second guessing it to jump in and go for it.
Awesome. Thank you. Lisa, how can everybody get in touch with you? Where can we find you?
Oh, I do have a Facebook group. It is got guided meditation, listening to your inner voice. I can post it in the comments.
Yes, please.
Once that is ready.
I would love that.
Yes, and I'm mainly working on Facebook right now. I have not mastered Instagram. I'm just working on one at a time because, as I said before, I'm still getting tech savvy.
That's okay. And you know that's what I recommend.
Yes.
Pick one, be amazing at it. That's all you need. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming and chatting with me about guided meditation and about your experience in the mastermind. I super appreciate it.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me. It's been exciting.
No problem. All right, friends. I hope you all have an amazing night. I'll see you all tomorrow. I'll be talking to Jenny Field. We'll see you all later. Bye.